So here is today's project. So dropped the machine off about 3 weeks ago, and then John had to have a surgery, so he's got a clean bill of health now to come back to work. So we're going to get started. As you can tell, the machine's been sitting here a little while. They've already mowed around it a couple times, but got a little retention pond here, and it is silted in the little forebay area right here. So what I've got to do is go open the valve and drain this down, set the pump up, start pumping all this out. We got to take about 4 or 5 dump truck loads of sediment out from in front of those pipes. You can't really see it, but once I get the water down, you'll probably be able to see it. So what I've got to do is come down here to the overflow structure. I brought some boots, so hopefully I can walk out there and get that opened up and start draining down. It's somewhere over here. Like right there. So hopefully I can put my boots on, go up there, and there's a valve on the front to get that opened up. So let me go get those and get that opened up and let that start draining down some. I made it out here. That was a little tricky getting up on there, being about 4 inches from pouring over my boot, trying to get up on a 4 foot tall riser. But now they told me that this was just laying okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna climb all the way up here for my help. Alright. So what I've got to do is get this valve open. There's the low flow structure, and of course the valve's right there, and guess what? The valve's covered up in dirt, so I'm gonna have to put the camera down, see if I can get this broke loose. Well, there's water coming out. Well, I got a pretty good little stream of water coming out now. Looks like at most it'll go down from the low flow pipe to that valve is like maybe 2 feet. So now I got to set the pump up and pump out the forebay pond. I have no idea what these ropes are for. Well, the good news is it's green. I got to get back off this thing now. Remember to work smarter, not harder. We have machines to use them. I'm gonna set the pump down here, and there's a dirt berm that goes all the way across here, and what that does is that divides the big pond from the little pond, and which is the forebay, which collects all the sediment and traps it up here before it can wash over and silt in the main basin. So that's what these are designed for. It's kind of like a little temporary dam. Well, I mean, it's a permanent dam, but it kind of keeps the little pond up here to catch all the contaminants, and just makes it easier to remove when it's all contained within one little area. Let's get the pump going. Hoses are connected. I just primed it. Now let's just take a moment and pray that this thing starts. Okay, here we go. On, choke, go, wide open. Oh yeah. choke. Might get a little choke. And now we wait. Well, isn't that pretty? I gotta go figure out how to cut that off now. It just evidently it's on a timer. I'm gonna go figure out how to cut that off because I don't think it's gonna spray too good if the water gets low. Off to find the plug. Oh, this looks like it. Wonder why there's a pressure tank up here. I don't know if that's it or not. I don't know. Somebody might lose some power. If I can get it open. I think that's been open in a long time. Why won't you open? Hold on. We're trying not to break it. Hey, that's it. We won't touch anything else. Somebody might lose water. That's weird, there's a well up here. Fountain is safe. So now the suction hose is just getting clogged with all this scum and crap that's growing in the pond. So what I'm going to do is pull it out, come over here with the excavator, dig a hole, and then put the bucket down in there and throw the pump hose in the bucket. Hopefully that'll keep it from sucking up so much of this organic stuff. Hose in the bucket, take 2. So I'm just dipping the last of the muddy water out with the excavator bucket and just laying it over here in the grass. A few leaves come out with it, but it's just too slow pumping there. It just keeps getting clogged up with all that that's in there. Pretty much all that is the leaves off all the trees and bushes and all these parking lots that fall into the parking lot, and the rain brings it down here, and or the landscapers blow it into the storm drains, and it dumps out right here, and this catches it all. And now it's full. As you can tell, it's about the same level, so I've got to dig all this out about 2 or 3 feet deep lower, but it seems to be a pretty hard rock down there, so dig as deep as I can go. Well, 2.5 hours later, I finally got all the water out, almost 3 hours. Now I'm going to make my way out here. How nasty this stuff is. It's like solid rock in the bottom there. Well, I think I'm gonna sit right here and dip out what I can and put that in the dump truck before I venture too far out there and make a big mess. Alright, well he's here, so let me get situated and we'll load the dump truck. It's already dripping out of the truck. turnbuckles on, and that'll tighten the tailgate up real good. Put the turnbuckles on, couldn't reach them. It keeps that's a little safety feature, those turnbuckles right there. Keeps the tailgate from accidentally popping open with all this weight against it. Because as you're driving, this mud sloshes back and forth. Let's venture out here and see what kind of mess we can make. Out and put new rock back, just so I can get all the sediment out. probably need to leave that. It's a pad for when it pours over the parking lot. I didn't know that was down there. Most likely nobody else either. I'll put that back eventually. Breaking this mud over here so that I can sit right there and dip it out. Pretty nasty little project, ain't it? Somebody's got to do it. Load number 2. Sloshed over the tailgate, or you forgot to take the turnbuckles off. Did it really? I see where it went over the tailgate. Huh? I see where it poured over the tailgate. Oh, okay. It went over the tailgate. about 3 more truckloads and I'll have all that out. I dug everything out from right here, and that load of new rock's going to go right in here from this pipe back. Probably need to pull that slab away when I go back in there and dig out that little bit right there. So I can get that pushed up there a little bit better. It's just so when this water pours over, it's got something to go into. I'll pull that away and move that little bit of rock and push it right back up next to the wall. But that is some nasty stuff. That wall drain right there is very happy that I just pulled all that mud out from in front of it. Look at all the stuff coming out from back there. That's probably does the wall good, being able to drain. So just loaded out load number 3, and we got 2 more to take out. Should get the rest of this, and I'm gonna go ahead and put rock in up here. So I gotta put all the rock in now. So instead of trying to grab it, track down in the pond or around, I'm going to actually go down the pond dam and just throw it over the bushes. And I'll have to fix a little bit more of this, but it's easier. So I think this is somewhere about where it needs to go. So that's where we dumped it. Can't really tell what I'm doing, but it's a good place to dump it. That's the general area it needed to go. It's just a whole lot easier to throw a little grass seed and straw out on top of this than to tear up that whole little cofferdam trying to drive back and forth over it. I'll dump all this and then I'll go down in there and spread it out. To finish raking this mud up here. I got one last load that needs to come out, so pretty much I just need to rake up enough for that and then get it right here where it can be loaded out. There's still a fair amount of groundwater coming out of that pipe, and I guess from everywhere else where it's kind of filling back up. So I'm going to rake all this over here and just try to, it's hard to say keep it dry, but keep it out of the slop water so that for what it's worth it's a little bit easier to haul. tried to pull this slab out. And remove some of this rock that got pushed up behind it. Try not to interfere with the wall. Just kind of very gingerly push that rock out, not to hit the wall. Very slowly. Alright. Take that bucket tooth and push that back around, like so. And it appears it needs to go over just a little bit. It's about right there. That looks pretty centered. Now I'll take it and just give it a little nudge to make sure it's as tight as I can get it up against the wall. That way there's no erosion behind that. I'm going to take that little bit of stuff I pushed out, break it out of the way, and put rock. It's kind of silly, but all this is on solid rock. But it's what they require, so we're putting rock back. Just as a dissipator pad in front of this pipe. What that does is it softens the, as the water comes pouring out of that pipe, it just kind of helps it dissipate out the energy and not cause erosion. Just a little bit up here, so I'm going to grab a pinch, and just so they feel that it looks pretty, put some way up here, right there. Flatten that rock out just a little bit, right there. Alright, now it looks like we really tried. A little pat down. Branch off, so they lay this over here. We'll let the landscapers deal with that. That's what they do. Landscape. And that's about it. There's the concrete right there, so it can't wash there. And if it shoots out this pipe, there is now rock all the way across. It is now padded in and will be about 6 inches underwater when the pond fills back up. Alright, well that's it. Now all I got to do is finish rounding up the last load, get that dipped out. Well, we got the machine out of here. All that's left to do is finish cleaning everything up and seed and straw everything. I got that patted down the best I can. It's hard to grade out wads of grass. And there is the forebay all dug out. We took out 5 truckloads and brought in a truckload of rock to put back up there. This will fill up all the way to that pipe and pretty much be level with that 2 blocks higher, so about another 16 inches. And then it just kind of pours across here into the main pond. Not a bad little job, just a little sloppy and not a whole lot of room to work, but I got it done. And all done. Got the seeding straw put out, a little bit of matting. It's kind of hard to put that down in mud, but I did it the best I could. And some pine straw, so all that is taken care of now. It'll fill back up right up to the edge. The grass will grow through here. That'll stabilize that, and pretty much all that's going to be underwater.